Well, let me show you the progress we're making.
Welcome to 3D Accuracy, where I'll talk about 3D printing, 3D product design, and 3D injection and die-cast mold design.
Well, you can see I've gotten a fairly large section of the shop, all the planks down, glued to the floor. It's a mess. This glue is like, you gotta be kidding me. And I looked at the goof off on the can, this stuff here, to see if this would work. And according to the instructions, they don't recommend using it on plastic because it damages a lot of plastics. It said including old vinyl flooring. So I thought, yeah. Everything I tried soapy water, I've tried alcohol, I tried the acetone, which made the planks shiny, and everything I've tried so far, nothing worked. I tried soapy water and it kind of works, but it's like you gotta scrub the daylights out of it. So I finally decided, okay, take a scrap section of the plank and let's try this goof off on there and see what actually happens. Well, this is what happens right here. You can see this group of 3 that I did, and it does exactly the same thing basically as the acetone does. In fact, I think there's probably acetone or something somewhat similar in that goof off. It might be one of the ingredients because it makes the plank shiny. But it gets the glue off so easily, and you can see this group here. I did this group of 3 and this group of 3. And you can see the planks beyond it, they don't shine really, they don't reflect the light except for the glue. The glue reflects the light, and that's what's shiny there. So I've decided, okay, let's just use this goof off and get the God-blessed glue off the ground so we can work in here and get the machine set up. It doesn't leave a bad finish, but I'm not 100% sure I want to go with it because it also tends to highlight all the imperfections, the little bit of up and down in the floor. When it's glossy like that, you can see it a little bit more. Now, I also discovered, if you look at this group right here, that it's glossy where I wiped it, but the corner of this plank is not glossy. You can see I was able to remove the gloss simply by using a regular kitchen sponge, the little green scrubby pad on the back, and all I did was wiped it back and forth a little bit on the plank, and it took away the shiny. So if I decide I don't like the shiny after I get it all done and all the planks are clean and I don't like it, I can remove it. And it's not a hard job. You don't have to scrub it real hard. You just kind of brush it back and forth, and it takes the shine right out of it. So I'm like, okay, that's good. I can get it back basically to the original textured surface, the matte finish surface, if I want to. So the goal for today is get all the glue off what I already have laid down. This is all pretty much nailed down except for along the machines there. I moved those back so I could move the desk and that machine out of the corner. And then I also moved these 2 machines. They're ready to go on the floor into position as soon as I have the glue off and decide whether I want to keep the shiny or not. And if not, then I'll just scrub that area where the printers are going with the sponge to get the shine out of it, and then put those machines there, and the rest of it I can do later. I don't have to do that right now. And then I also washed this area where the 2 machines were sitting and put the prep fluid down, and also I washed this corner where the big machine goes and put the prep fluid down. So that's all ready for flooring. Now, once I get the floor clean, then the next objective is to position these planks I've got to get the pattern. I got to figure out the numbers and the pattern and finish putting planks in this area and then work into this corner. I want to see up against the roll-up door where the end of the planks lie, because I've tipped them, and if I have to cut them like here, I'm going to leave a little triangle along that edge, and I'm really hoping I don't have to do that. I'm hoping the pattern ends up that I'm behind this point so I can cut this off and I don't have little wedges up there. But because I didn't lay this all out in the CAD software, we took a little bit of a gamble and see. I kind of roughly calculated, and I think we're okay, but I'm not 100% sure until I get up there and see what happens. So I may or may not get to this today. I'll see. First objective is to get the glue off the floor. And it's real easy. I mean, I just use a paper towel and some of that goof off and get the paper towel wet and just wipe it down just about as fast as you can wipe it. It takes the glue off. So it works really well. It just makes the floor, you can see, makes it shiny. I have a good portion of the planks cleaned up with all the glue, 2 rows all the way down to the wall, and then I'm working this 3rd row back right about where the can is, and I have this 4th row to do, and then I have that side to do. But I got sidetracked a little bit because it's been gnawing at me ever since I changed the pattern, since we decided to do that, whether or not I'd have enough tiles to make it to the roll-up doors out front and not have enough planks, because I've got to cut it at the ends differently. And so what I did was I figured out the pattern so that I got the pattern right and dropped in the planks where the large printer is going to go in this corner to see how much I have up against the roll-up doors. And you can see the yardstick laying on the ground, 36 inches, same length as a plank. And from the door, I'm hanging over that plank about 5 inches. Now I have to take all these and pull them this way and snug it up so they fit tight, because they're just kind of loosely laid on the floor and there's gaps in there. So I'm pretty sure I have enough, because that'll be the longest plank that I need, that one there, and it looks like I'll be cutting roughly 5 inches, 4 inches, 3.5, 4 inches off the end of that one. Now I'll end up with longer on the opposite end, because I'll have 1, 2, 3 planks going that way, and this one is going to get cut off and there'll be a longer piece. I'm just hoping that I have enough that I can do that down both sides of the shop, the front wall and the back wall, and get everything to fit. So, and have enough planks. So I'm still a little nervous because I got enough to do yet. I got to get under these machines. I got to get the van out and do underneath that whole area over there. So remains to be seen. I've decided I'm going to wait with putting this end row, with the exception of these 2 places, because I want to get this machine tucked in. So I want to get this guy finished, and these 2 triangular areas here, I want to finish those, and then the rest of it from there on down the wall, I'm not going to do that end until I know if I have enough planks. And I'll do the same on this opposite side. When I bring these next 2 rows over, I'll leave that end until after I have all the machines moved out of the way and I have that other end of the shop done, so I can see how many planks do I need, how much room do I have, and do I have enough? A little messing around, little goofing around, got to figure it out, but I can't do it, I can't figure it all at one time because there's things in the shop and it's hard to calculate and lay all the planks out and see, okay, how many do I have, how many do I need, how much more do I have to go? So we'll take it one step at a time. I'll just leave those edges until last, until I determine what I'm dealing with. Okay, so that's a little update. Back at it. I got to clean up the rest of the glue off these other rows so that I can start moving printers around and make more space in other areas so I can get more planks down. All the planks cleaned up, all the glue off. Use the goof off and wipe them all down. And then the two 3D printers that I had sitting over here, I've got this one set up in its position, and I got the other one over there against the wall approximately where it's going to be. The big machine is going to go in the corner, and I have to get that one there first because I need a certain distance between the two machines in order to get to the access on this side where the material goes in. On the big machine, there's a door there on the side where the material goes in, and so I need enough room to swing that door open between it and this other machine, and then it will go down a little bit farther, not sure exactly how much, and then later on I'll pull this machine, and this one will go up alongside the big one over here, and then once that's down in position, then I can put this workbench along the wall, get my toolboxes back up there with all my tools and that sort of stuff. So I'll get them in position as I lay more floor planks. And I also, see what I did here on the metal pole, I put a little safety strip on there, a little reflective, I don't know if you can see it, if the light hits it correctly, but I have one on the other side. You probably can't see it. No, you can't really see it. It's against the printer, and I'm going to get two more of those and put one on this side and one over here on this side so that people can see that pole. Not that they're going to walk into it with the machine right there, because you probably wouldn't do that, but if I ever rearranged the shop and moved this machine to another location or whatever, I just want it to be safe so nobody runs into that pole, because that would not be a good thing. So right now I've got this machine in position. I've got to get it leveled and hooked up and all that good stuff yet, which I'll do over the weekend so that I can start using this one. And right now I'm going to start laying some more floor planks, try to get this corner done. I got to cut all the little pieces in here and in the corner, and so that takes a little time. It's a little tedious. I'll get it, and then that way once I get this all done, then I'll clean up the glue, and then I'll move the big machine into the corner and kind of get it positioned and leveled and set up so it's ready to use. And then I can, like I said, scoot these other machines down a little bit. But one thing I have here is, you see on the roll-up doors, it has this track, and it goes all the way down to the cement. Well, I don't want to try to cut around that frame, that where the garage door rides in. And I notice that this one and the other one over there on this door are actually up off the floor a little bit. They don't touch the cement, and I can scoot a plank underneath it without any problems. So what I'm going to do is the other two on the other door, on the large door, those go all the way down to the concrete. So what I'm going to do with those is this frame doesn't hold any weight. All it does is guide the door. That's all it does is give it some place for the rollers to roll in and guide the door up and down. The wire that's there, which is attached to the bottom corner on both sides of the door, and it rolls up into that spool up at the top, and then the spring is tensioned so that it carries the weight. It pulls the door up so that when you open it, you can lift the door without any problem, because those doors are really heavy, especially these insulated ones. They're heavy and very difficult to pull those up. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise the door all the way up so that it's supported up on the ceiling brackets. It's up in that portion of the track. And then I'm going to disconnect this one, just loosen the screws, take it off, and I'll cut, you know, maybe 1/8 of an inch or 3/16 of an inch off the bottom of that track, and then put them back in place. And then that way I can scoot a plank underneath there and not have to worry about trying to match that goofy shape on the track. So that's how I'm going to deal with that. So, okay, it's good to have machines moved around a little bit. It's starting to feel like, okay, let's get everybody hooked up and start getting them running again. So that's a good thing. That makes me feel good. Well, I'm gonna get back at it, lay some more planks, see if I can get this corner done. I don't think so. It's already about 7:40 in the evening. I don't think I'll get the whole thing done yet tonight, depending, of course, how late I stay and keep working. I mean, I've been out here a couple nights this week till 1 in the morning, 1:30, 2 in the morning. So if I get carried away and get a burst of energy, I may just have the printer moved. But I don't think I'll get that far. Okay, we'll see. Let's see what we can do here. Well, I managed to get all the planks down on the other side in that corner over there. The only thing I have to do is come back and do the little pie-shaped corners, you know, against the wall where the pattern comes together. I'll do this one tomorrow, that one in the corner, and this one over here, and that should be enough to get the big machine moved back into location. So once I get those little shapes cut and all put in there, then I'll wash that area with the goof off and get all the glue off the planks so that I can move the big printer back in location over there, and then I can move this one over because I know where it'll be in relation to the big one, so I can scoot them around and maybe get the other one up over here. And then after I move the big machine back, then I have to put planking on the floor over in this area, and that'll allow me to move the desk over. And then once I have the desk over, now it'll open up the rest of that area between the desk and the machines, these other 3D printers. So I put some of the floor in here. I did a little bit of that. So once I finish up the floor, that desk move forward, and I finish up the floor, then these 3 machines can move forward in line with this one. And then that opens up this area back here that I can wash and clean and lay the floor.
I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you're ever in need of 3D product design, 3D injection mold design, 3D die-cast mold design, or 3D printed prototypes or production parts, please feel free to contact me. You can find contact information in the video description. I look forward to hearing from you and to being of service to you. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. See you on 3D Accuracy's next video.